Hi everyone, I'm Pratima. Welcome back to Inverse Trigonometric Functions Basic Concepts. We'll continue because for problem solving we need the concepts here. So let us begin. Now let us recapitulate the previous concept of what we have learnt to read this. One is the domain and range of the inverse trigonometric functions. First is sine inverse x. Its domain is -1 and 1, -1 to 1, and range is -π/2 to π/2, and it is closed interval, means both the ends are included. For cos inverse x, the range is 0 to pi. Domain same but 0 to pi, and it is closed interval. For tan inverse x, it is -π/2 to π/2, but it is open, that means -π/2, π/2 are not included. Cot inverse x, similarly, it is defined from 0 to pi. For sec inverse x, the range is 0 to pi, pi is included, 0 is not included, excluding π/2. At π/2, sec inverse x is not defined. In the same way, cosec inverse x is not defined at 0. At the time, sine is becoming 0. So more concepts. One is sine inverse is x if x is between -1 to 1. That means x is greater than equal to -1 and less than equal to 1. Similarly, what will be cos inverse x? Cos inverse cos inverse x is also x if x is greater than equal to -1 and less than equal to 1. Tan inverse x is also x for whole real number. Cot inverse x is x for whole real numbers. You can see the expression sine inverse sine x is x if x is greater than equal to -π/2 and less than equal to π/2. Cos inverse cos x is 0 when x is in between 0 to pi. That means greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to pi. So see, the range of cos inverse function is different from sine inverse function. Now tan inverse tan x is equal to x if x belongs to -π/2 to π/2 and π/2 but not equal to. Similarly, cot inverse cot x is x if x is greater than 0 and less than pi. Cosec inverse cosec x is x when x is greater than equal to -π/2 and less than equal to π/2 but excluding 0. X is not equal to 0. Sec inverse sec x is x. X is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to pi. Here x is excluded. X is not equal to π/2. So you have to remember these three concepts for definition of the inverse function. Sine inverse sine x is x when x is between the interval. Cos inverse cos is x when x is in between 0 to pi, and tan inverse x tan x is same as sine inverse x, is -π/2 to π/2, but not equal to -π/2 and π/2. So keeping in this concept in mind, now we'll solve some objective problems. This comes in the board examination is only 1 mark question, and for 1 mark question in the CBSE you need not write all the steps, but for understanding first you should learn how the value is coming instead of memorizing the answer. So we'll write that sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3 was the question. Find its value. We'll write sine inverse sine pi minus pi by 3. That means we converted 2 pi by 3 as pi minus pi by 3. Now the question is why? Question, it is so because you see for sine inverse function x should be in between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. But 2 pi by 3 is greater than pi by 2. So we write it can be written as pi minus pi by 3 to bring into that interval. And we know that sine pi minus pi by 3 is same as sine pi by 3. So sine inverse sine pi by 3, it will be simply now pi by 3 according to the concept. Next question. Cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3. Should we subtract from pi? No, it is just 2 pi by 3 because for cos inverse function, its domain is 0 to pi. So it will be 2 pi by 3. Now this is a question. Sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3 plus cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3. What will be the value? So we have already calculated here. Sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3 is pi by 3 and cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3 is 2 pi by 3. So it will be pi by 3 plus 2 pi by 3. The answer is pi. Next, tan inverse tan 3 pi by 4. So in a similar way, we'll go sine tan inverse tan pi minus pi by 4 because tan inverse is defined from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. The value of x should lie in between. So to bring 3 pi by 4 into this interval, we'll write pi minus pi by 4. So tan pi minus pi by 4 is minus tan pi by 4. So that will be tan inverse minus tan pi by 4. Now what to do now? We'll write now minus tan pi by 4 can be written as tan minus pi by 4. So tan inverse tan minus pi by 4. Now you see the value minus pi by 4 lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So it can be written as simply minus pi by 4. I hope it is clear. Next concept. Sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. Similarly, tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is also pi by 2. Cosec inverse x plus sec inverse x is equal to pi by 2. You also can prove this taking sine inverse x is equal to as theta. Sine inverse x is theta. Then cos inverse x will be pi minus theta. So theta plus pi minus theta, it will be pi by 2. You can write in this way and you can verify yourself. Now basing this concept, this is the objective question again. Cot tan inverse A plus cot inverse A. How much it will be? Tan inverse A plus cot inverse X will be pi by 2. So it will be cot pi by 2. It will be 0. Coming to another question. Cosec inverse X plus sec inverse X. What is the value of cosec inverse X plus sec inverse X? It is again pi by 2. So cos pi by 2 is 0. Next set of relations. Sine inverse x is equal to cosec inverse 1 by x. So it is not similar to trigonometry. You cannot write this is reciprocal of sine inverse x. It will be cosec inverse. Only the x will be the reciprocal. Similarly, tan inverse x is equal to cot inverse 1 by x. Cos inverse x is equal to sec inverse 1 by x. So sometimes it will be required to find some values you have to keep in mind. Now we'll go for some principal branch value to understand better what the sine inverse have. What will be its principal branch value? It will simple. It will be pi by 6. Why? Because sine pi by 6 is half. Next, tan inverse root 3. So this is equal to pi by 3. Why? Tan pi by 3 is equal to root 3. Next is cos inverse half. Now it's clear. You can also say it will be pi by 3. Cos pi by 3 is half. Cosec inverse 2. I will simply convert it into sine inverse so that it is more easy to remember only some less functions. So I'll convert into sine inverse 1 by 2. And I do remember what is sine inverse half. That will be pi by 6. Now some other set of relations. Sine inverse negative x is equal to negative sine inverse x. Similarly, tan inverse minus x is equal to minus tan inverse x. Cosec inverse minus x is equal to minus cosec inverse x. So they are similar formula. Then what will be the other three? Cos inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. Cot inverse minus x is equal to pi minus cot inverse x. Sec inverse minus x is equal to pi minus sec inverse x. So this is one set having the similar properties and other set having the similar properties. So you can keep in mind they are similar to each other so that you can put in the problems. So basing on this now, try to find this sine inverse minus half. It is simple. It will be minus sine inverse half. Sine inverse half is how much? It will be 30 degree pi by 6. So it will be minus pi by 6. Isn't simple? Next, tan inverse minus 1 by root 3. So we'll put the concept, it will be same as minus tan inverse 1 by root 3. And what is tan inverse 1 by root 3? It will be just minus pi by 6 because tan pi by 6 is equal to 1 by root 3. And there was a negative sign, so it will be minus. Cos inverse minus 1 by root 2. It will be pi minus cos inverse root 2. And what is cos inverse root 2? It will be pi by 4. So it will be pi minus pi by 4. How much it is? It is 3 pi by 4. Next, sec inverse minus 2. It is pi minus sec inverse 2. And as I told, it is better to convert this sec inverse to cos inverse. So it will be pi minus cos inverse half. And what is cos inverse half? It will be pi by 3. So pi minus pi by 3 is equal to 2 pi by 3. So go ahead to learn more and solve more problems in inverse trigonometric formula. In next video, I'll continue with some more concept, how to convert one from each other. And thank you for watching. If you like the contents, please subscribe the channel. subscribe the channel and share this video with others so that people can see and can learn.